Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo Franchise Mode, where we will be playing in Legacy Prime. Always need those conservation credits. So let's get back into it. This is going to be another Yep, the words have completely left me. Time lapse. Wow, that was. Whew. It's going to be another pretty much time lapse video. There's still a lot that I want to get done in the way of. This time, it's going to pretty much be getting the Tundra Zone. Getting the Tundra Zone decorated, nature, plant wise, and everything. And let's see if we can't. Yeah, okay. And getting the Tundra Zone, the rest of this border put in around, since we didn't finish it, but get that put in to pretty much finish off the Tundra Zone. I mean, we'll have to always check back with it. But that is the goal of this episode. To work on getting the plants in that the 5 exhibits need. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to put some sort of like canopy over the pavilion, so that the guests can be under there when it rains, like it currently is. And possibly something over this section. I'm not sure about down here, but I do know I want to put it in up here. And yeah, that is the plan right now. And depending on how quickly we can get all of this done, I'd like to start on getting the Savannah Plains, I think that's the name I'm going to go with, done. Because, I mean, I'm basically going to African Elephant. It doesn't gain any, but it's going in Black Wildebeest, and most of these animals. I want to create a well-balanced exhibit with as many of these animals as possible. We'll see how the space goes. But that is the plan. So we'll see, because it's pretty much these 8. So it's 9, because it's the common ostrich plus these 8. And then I'd like to do the elephant, because I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, because it's the same zone. Elephant, and then the giraffe as well. And no, the hippo I'm going to put for the aquatic zone, since it does require a substantial amount of water. Giraffe, yeah. See, it's grassland as well. Oh, it might have already been on the 8. So it might be 9 animals that are going in. I think it's 9. But that's the plan. But we will see. So what I'm going to do is just let it go for a little bit to try to get this rain done with, because it'll be easier to work on the stuff if it's not raining. But while I wait for the rain to pass, let's just check our exhibits. What is going on? Oh, layout. We don't have another research for the Gila monster. Layout for you as well. Still don't have any more research for you. And Titan Beetle, don't have any research for you either. So you're great. So are you. So are you. And so are you. And why does this one not have a name? Puff Adder. Okay, so that's should be saved now. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just do some management things while I wait for the rain to clear, which hopefully it won't be long. And once it's clear, then we will focus on and actually while we have, okay, that one's good. Reindeer, so we want to get Titan Beetle. Go on and get the Tiger Snail. Boa Constrictor, and we need him. Okay, so we'll work on getting these other exhibit animals done, and it looks like the rain has passed. But while I'm looking, I forget that I did put some exhibits down here, but I think these are all ones that, yeah, these are all ones that aren't fully researched yet. Okay, so now that the rain has stopped, oh, that trash is getting to be bad. Let's see. You're just wandering. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to pick him up, put him here, and he can get all this trash up. But while he is doing that, we are going to just get in some of these bins, and just for now, put them down along here. That should be enough to hopefully prevent this area from getting trashed until we can fully get over there to decorate. But I think this is going to be a good time to start the time lapse. And we're gonna, like I said, start with decorating the exhibits, get this wall put up, and some sort of roof on the pavilion, and then hopefully that won't take too long, and we'll move on to the plains area here, which I'm hoping it's going to be big enough. I mean, it's almost 6,000 square meters, and that should be plenty for all the animals. Okay, for this time lapse, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to mainly focus on um, the tundra zone, and that's what I do. Mainly, I'm going to focus on beautifying it, which is what I start as soon as I get the sun up. Just makes it a little easier. So the rock layout that I did for over at the grassland, the large enclosure, is what I decided to do here. So I just go about fixing it so that it's not just the dirt walls, because I think that looks bad. So I so that's why I wanted to get the rocks in, and here I go about just fixing up the area behind it so that it just looks a little better, going with the Tundra rocks to um, just to tie in with the Tundra zone. And yeah, just making the area look better. So I do go on and get a few more trees in. And I'm sorry about saying all the time, but I get yeah, I keep saying but I get the Tundra Wolf done. So I the wall at least, and then I want to do something about these pillars. And I didn't like the way that first rock was, so I changed it. And it I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So I just focus on getting some plants in around here. A lot of it is just getting the plants in uh, around the exhibits. Then I focus on just this area out here on both sides, just so that the guests are happy. And so I like how they turn out. I put the same trees down on the other side. Unfortunately, I am going to have to go back and change them because they are slightly overlapping in the Arctic wolf zone, and they do not like that. So, but the wolves are a little overcrowded, so I go on and get rid of the elderly ones. Um, I don't like selling them like that, but I needed to go on and get rid of them. But it's still not quite enough, so I go on and extend the upper landing a little bit more, and that does it. So just a few more plants, and that finishes off the Timberwolves. So then I switch over to the Arctic Wolves and do the same thing. I need to increase their land a little bit more. But then I copy the same pillars from the other one over, just making sure that the land is flat um, and reachable for them, but it's still not enough. So I decide to go on and create them a little bit more of a cave back here. It'll it'll allow them to hide away more. So I go in and get some bedding down too, and so then that takes care of it. That gets them back there. This is when I realized that the trees are overlapping. So I go on and continue moving them and finally get it so that they're not in there. And I go on and fix their enrichment as well. But I work on getting more research done because I only have the dog feeder ball for the food enrichment. Then I take a little bit of an easier way out on this, and I just copy it over um, from the Timberwolves. But I have to go through and fix all of them, or not all of them, but most of them. So started that, realized that they weren't close enough to the wall, so really had to fix them. But get the trees moved out so that I can continue. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time for this. So then I just want to do something a little different at the top for these. So I go in and put some of the the tiny bushes down around. And I go on and finish off the front as well, and so that the guest hopefully will be happy with that. And so then I copy a couple of trees around, move those back, and just finish off a few areas there. So I'm pretty happy with the Timberwolves and the Arctic Wolves now. I don't touch the reindeer, doll sheep, or the Japanese monkeys. I turn my attention to the pavilion because I want to put some sort of cover over it uh, so that the guests have somewhere to go. I did find those pieces in the Arctic section that I'm going to probably put down on all the paths, um, just to create a little something for the paths. Um, but I go with this archway to I go with the archway to basically it's what I use as the design for the roof supports. And I try to figure out if there's something I have that I can do for the roof, and it's not. So you'll see later what I decide to do to cover the roof. But here I'm just building all of the support for the roof, which this does take a substantial amount of time for just for everything that I have to uh, do in the way of the roof support. But I get it going. And unfortunately this takes a lot of time, so this is mostly what the rest of it is. But I try to cut down time by copying it over. um, I realized that I haven't spaced everything exactly um, equidistance, so it does make it a little more challenging to get everything lined up correctly. But start getting it better. In reality, I probably should do a little bit more in the way of getting everything to be perfectly aligned, but I'm not as worried about it as I probably should be, but that's fine. So here I am just copying it over to the other side. I've decided that where the majority of the picnic tables are and the other exhibits, I'm not going to cover that, at least not right now. Maybe eventually I will, but right now I'm not. But I realized that these beams are not high enough for the roof to cover the exhibits. So what I decide to go with is just putting these beams below it to raise up the height. So that's what I do next. I go around just getting these put in, moving the benches, the bins whenever need be, the education boards, just moving everything so that these boards fit better. So I get the one side done, and then move to here. I go in and place those around just to give me a reference for when I do move them, that I put them at the correct height. So then I keep on working on that. It's like I said, this took a long time. I've still got a lot to do. I haven't even come close to completing this section, but I am a lot closer than I was. So just taking another view of it, letting some time pass, make sure everything's smooth. Then I keep on with these, again, moving stuff when it needs to be. But I like the way that it's starting to look. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So what I decide to do is put in this tall pole, and what I'm going to do is put it a lot of places. It's what's going to be the actual support. The arches are more of the decorative like windows, even though they're not going to have glass in it. But I upped the reindeer's water because they were thirsty. Not really sure why they weren't drinking from it, but that's fine. So then I go back to finishing the small beams under there, which I think I just have to the end of this, and then I'm done with the small beams. Yeah. So that's all of the small beams done. And then what I decide, oh, nope, just a few more here. And so got those done. So then I just start copying the taller beam and putting it in. I try saving it as a template, but when I bring it up, it doesn't put it at the top, and so that it saves me no time having that. So I just go back to duplicating it like it was. And this part doesn't take as long as the other one.
but I get it in pretty quickly. I've got to put a few more of them in the middle section so that the roof has some support there, but I don't do that right now. Then I go and work on the steps because they're going to have the same layout. And then I actually start on the roof beams, which you can see here. It starts going in pretty smoothly. Not everything is perfectly square, which again is fine. And then I work on just putting in these beams because that's easier to do, and it finishes off part of it, makes it look a little more little closer to being finished. Then I go on and do the stairs part, which I realize that I need to copy them over, but I didn't finish the lower entrance. So I get the beams put in, so that's good. So then I go on and copy it and get the big beams in over here on the other entrance, and then copy the roof beams over. So looking better and better. And so I just wanted to, because I'm almost done with this session for today. So of course the size that I've done, there's no roof panels that fit perfectly, so I overlaid them some, and it seems to work pretty well. So what I do is I copy them and just start duplicating to cover the sections, and then I move on to the words escape me. Move on to the steps, and the I like the way the steps look. I like the way the steps look when they're complete. But yeah, that's about it. I do let it go for just a few more seconds, and while I check the animals for the zoo inspection. But that's gonna be the end of this session, and I will see y'all